Hey y'all, what's up? Candy here of Pandy's Hair Candy and More. Welcome to my channel. I am Pandy. If this is your first time stopping through, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. You guys, I am extremely pumped and extremely excited because tonight was the season 6 premiere of the one and only Power, starring Omari Hedgwick, 50 Cent, and a host of other stars. But we're going to jump right into it. Over here at Pandy's Hair Candy and More, we talk about hair, we talk about wigs and natural hair, weaves, makeup, lifestyle, food, health, and wellness. We talk about a variety of things. And in my spare time, in my unwind time, I enjoy watching my TV shows. And I like to come to my platform and give you all my commentary and just interact with y'all and see what you thought about the show. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into this. Now, this is Power Season 6, Episode 1. And the show starts off. Well, the episode begins with a frantic ghost riding in the back of the ambulance with assistant district attorney and longtime high school girlfriend, mistress slash side chick, Angie Valdez. They're riding in the ambulance. She's bleeding profusely after getting shot by Tommy Egan in last season's final episode. So they rush her into surgery, and an officer is there at the hospital immediately waiting to question Ghost, of course, because they know he got something to do with it because she done been shot in the chest. Next, we see Tommy fleeing from the scene in that bad blue Mustang that he be rolling. Okay, he makes a call to Keisha, who's being played by Lala Anthony, instructing her to pack his bags and get his, getaway stuff ready because he got to make some moves. Next, we see Tommy meeting up with Tasha, which is Ghost's wife. He informs her that he had shot Angie in the chest. He tells her that Ghost was right there. And in the midst of their conversation, Tasha peeps game and is like, hold up. Who the H was you really trying to shoot? Because I've been told you to pump the brakes on shooting Angie. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm reading notes because it was so good. I had to take notes. I always take notes, though, when I watch my shows, especially when I know I'm going to give review and commentary on them. Now, Tommy lets Tasha know that Ghost tricked him into killing his own father. Remember Teresi, the dude that was locked up last season in the joint with Ghost, came out, basically turned out to be Tommy's dad, blah, blah, blah. So Ghost had convinced Tommy last season that he was snitching to the feds. So Tommy ends up murking him because he thought he was snitching on both him and Ghost. Come to find out, he was only snitching on Ghost. So Tommy's pissed. Okay? Because he was really trying to have a relationship with him. That's the one thing that he's been longing for. As thuggish and as ruggish as Tommy is, he's been wanting a father in his life. Because his mom's all whacked out on drugs and whatnot. Okay. So he tells her that he's not about to just let that mess slide. He apologizes for the kids, but he also lets her know he understands that if she got to make a move against him, he understands, but he's moving like this right now. She asks, does Ghost know it was him? He confirms, yeah, he saw me. Tasha then tells him, wow, you took a shot at the devil and you missed. She tells Tommy if he wants her to get him an alibi, because she's always their alibi. I don't know what she does, but she's always an alibi for them. He better fix it between him and Ghost, because she's not down with either one of them killing each other. Meanwhile, we see Ghost stressing in the waiting room at the hospital. He's having flashbacks of his and Angie's love affair. Like I said, they go way back from when they was kids back in the day in the hood. Now, granted, he is married to Tasha with children and all, but I don't really believe. I believe he loved Tasha, but he's not in love with Tasha. He was in love with Angie. So he's stressing, pacing around back and forth in the waiting room of the hospital. Angie's sister then comes out screaming, "Murderer!" fighting him and attacking him. So apparently, Angie Valdez has died during surgery as a result of a gunshot wound to the chest. So she's dead. She is straight dead, y'all. Now, meanwhile, back at the district attorney's office, their boss, Tamika, the black lady, she's furious because she's not understanding why no one from their office had eyes on Angie's movements. After all, she was given 24 hours to get back with them last season, 24 hours to get back with them and let them know what her plans was as far as moving forward to testify against her man, Ghost. At the end of last season, I told you guys that. Now, apparently she ditched the tail that they did have on her. Saxe is trying to pin it all on Ghost. He's just determined that it's Ghost. Next, we see in Officer Saxe. Well, not Officer Saxe. He's also in the district attorney's office. I don't know what they are, but they're some sort of investigators of the district attorney's office. Now, next, we see Ghost again. This time, he's pacing outside the hospital in the parking lot. He then gets a devious look in his eyes, and every time Ghost gets that look in his eyes, somebody on the show gets murked. Okay? He then leaves. Meanwhile, we then see Angie's sister sitting down with her deceased body and weeping. And when you know it, in comes Officer Saxe, who promises a conviction if she would simply authorize an autopsy. She immediately gets pissed off and says her sister spoke with him many times and that he was an a-hole. And she has no intentions on allowing them to mutilate her sister's body. She then also points the finger at Ghost. He accepts the blame but still presses her for the authorization of an autopsy. Next, we see Tommy roll up on Keisha and hands her the murder weapon and tells her to toss it in the river. Now, mind you, he ain't told her he hit Angie Valdez, so she's thinking that he went and hit Ghost. Because remember at the end of last season, she was saying, they're using us. We got to get them before they get us. And, she was starting to feel like Keisha just been using her. She ain't really a friend and this, that, and the third. So she takes the gun or whatever. And he bounces. He tells her he's going to call her. He then goes home. And of course, Ghost is in there waiting. They fight, and they fight like they were trying to kill each other, okay? The gun falls out, slides on the floor, and the only thing that stopped them from killing each other is Tariq walks in. Tariq walks in and breaks it up, and he's there. He says he needs to talk to Uncle Tommy. Ghost is like, don't call him that no more. He ain't no longer a part of the family. He's like, what the F are you guys fighting for? And Tommy's like, don't worry about it, man. He was like, you got 10 minutes. And Ghost steps outside, basically saying he's going to wait because he's pissed. Because he's like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be away at school and show. He tells Tommy that he needs him to do something with him. Tommy tells Tariq, he's down to do whatever, but he got to take care of some business first. Next, we see Tommy pressing up on Ghost's attorney. Practically telling him, not Tommy, what am I saying? Oh, yeah, no. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to read my notes. Okay, it wasn't Tommy. It was Officer Saxe again, or Investigator Saxe. I'll say that. He's pressing up on Ghost's attorney, Proctor, practically telling him that he knows he dropped the dime to Ghost about Angie. possibly testifying against him, which ultimately led to Ghost luring her out that night and getting her shot and killed. He reverses it on him. Proctor's like, no, who else did you tell? You told me. Who else did you tell? So he shifts the blame back on him. Now, back at the district attorney's office, Tamika is packing up all her things when Sax walks back in. He's like, what's going on here? And she's like, what the hell does it look like? My Black A is being shipped out. There's new management in charge. And I'm just like, Lord, why it got to always be the sister or the brother? But I digress, y'all. But yeah, one of their own was killed, so you automatically know the top is getting cut first. So, to make an example out of the rest of them. So, apparently, they're under new leadership. Mr. Warner, he informs the new boss that he shared information with Proctor about Angie's testimony. Mr. Warner is like, do you care about your job? He tries to explain his whole little spiel is that he thought it would lure information by Proctor luring this and that out of Ghost, and it kind of backfired, but he feels like he could still lure him to make another move, and they can kind of catch him up this time. The guy's like, I'm going to give you enough rope to hang yourself, but I promise you if this doesn't work out, I'm personally going to be the one to sign your indictment. Now, meanwhile, Tasha shows up at Terry Silver's office. She gets ready to go walk straight back, and the receptionist is like, I'm sorry, do you have an appointment? And she stops and says, oh, yes, I'm trying to reach Terry Silver. And the lady's like, well, are you a family member? And she's like, no. And she's like, okay, well, no one has seen him or heard from him for days. And his family has put out a missing persons report on him. Last season, you all remember, you know the story. We saw Ghost lurking in the shadows when Tasha went to go meet up with him. Ghost ain't about that life. He's not leaving no witnesses behind, okay? Ghost caught him at that car, trying to talk to Tasha and trying to get Tasha to flip. Strangled him quietly, and that was it. So he's gone. Tasha just don't know it yet. But one thing she knows for sure, and two for certain. She knows the signs of when Ghost has struck and made his move, and she already know the deal without being told. So the lady's trying to get her name, and she'd hurry up and bounce. As you know, Tasha's slick like that. She ain't gonna get caught up. Next, we see Tommy go to meet up with Jason and the Italians. They tell him that they want the Jimenez sister killed. Tommy's like, the B is locked up. Jason's like, that doesn't mean S to me. I want her dead, locked up or not. And they also mentioned that they don't trust Ghost. They want to know if he's going to be a problem on their future business with Tommy and them. And, you know, Tommy tries to reassure them that they ain't got to worry about Ghost. And Tommy ought to know better. But I guess he's kind of banking on the fact that Ghost wanted to step out of the game. So I don't know why he told them that, but he told them that. Next we see Tasha meet up with Ghost at the club. He's still trying to figure out if she knows why Tariq was cutting out of class and showing up at Tommy's. And he was so ingenuous and so, I don't know, just not even cognitive of her needs. He starts talking to her about, you know, Angie's dead and Tommy did it. And I mean, why would he do that to me? Shoot the woman I love. He's telling his wife that. And she's sitting there like, really? What about Terry? Terry's missing. I loved him. So, I don't know. Like I said, their marriage is one of, it's almost like a business arrangement. I don't know. Because she's an accountant. She helps them wash their drug money. It's deep. But anyway, we then go from him telling her all that Angie's dead. She then tells him, well, it's because you tricked him into killing his father. He tells her, no, actually, Angie did that. Because Teresi was getting ready to rat on all of them, including her, to the feds. So she wanted Tommy to take the fall for it rather than Ghost, because basically she was planning on her and Ghost being together, living happily ever after. She's then hurt and pissed, and she tells him she's going to be taking all her things out of the penthouse and she wants a divorce. Rightfully so. Next, at Keisha's crib, her son walks in the morning. I think he was getting ready for school or something, and he asks about Tommy. He's like, y'all didn't break up or nothing, did you? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay. Can I have some pancakes? And she's like, okay. She gets up to go make the pancakes, and the little boy starts to dig through her purse. And she freaks out, like, don't you ever go in my purse. Because remember, she didn't go drop that weapon yet. That murder weapon is still in the bag. And the boy could have shot himself or anything, or just, put his fingerprints on it, anything. So they have that scene. He asks her also, Mom, did you go out last night? Because I thought I heard the door. And she's like, no, I was here all night. And I think that's going to be crucial, because if it ever does come down to her being a suspect and them having to question the son, that's going to be an issue. But that's just my mind. I could be reading more into it. Yeah. Now we see Ghost roughing up Proctor for being wrong about Angie testifying. He tells him it wasn't him and that it was Tommy. Because Proctor's like, well, why'd you do it? Did you kill her? And he's like, no, it wasn't me. It was Tommy. She actually saved my life. He tells him that Sachs has confirmed that there is actually another female witness still gunning for him. Proctor tries to get Ghost to testify against Tommy, and Ghost straight up tells him he plans to put Tommy in a body bag. He doesn't plan on going through the court system. Proctor tries to convince Ghost that you're better off walking in the DA's office with your hands in front of you than behind you with them behind your back. Ghost ain't trying to hear that. He's about that life for real. Okay? Next, we see Tommy hook up with his crew, the what they call them, the Primeras, and he informs them that his connect is going to be a little delayed with getting the goods. And one of the boys starts flexing on him. I think his name was Poncho. He's like, dude, I got mouths to feed. Who the F you supposed to be? Blah, blah, blah. And you know Tommy ain't playing with a full deck. Tommy's like, calm down, chill. He already got a black eye. They was already clowning and ranking on him when he came in the door. And the boy must have said, you ain't F. You ain't ish without Ghost. And Tommy just, ow, blew his brains out right there in front of him. Okay, because Tommy is about that life too. Okay. Next we see the new district attorney boss, Mr. Warner, and all the detectives are meeting up to discuss the fact that, no, not all the detectives, that lady detective, I think her name is Detective Ruiz or something like that. They're meeting up and she's trying to push herself back into the investigation, saying that they need to have a task force through the police department because obviously their department is dirty. They keep having leaks, problems with leaks coming out of their office. We then see Tasha roll up on Tariq slipping, walking through the hood. And he's like, how do you always be finding me? She's like, boy, I got a tracker on your phone. And he's like, what the F? And she's like, boy, don't ever talk to me like that. I'm your mom. So they have that little back and forth. But she's basically checking him like, what are you doing walking around here when you're supposed to have your tail back in school? And he tries to just walk off and she snatches him up. He tells her he just needs to handle something personal and that she can pick him up from Uncle Tommy's in 2 hours. She's like, no. Now, he was like, please just give me 1 hour. She's like, you got 1 hour. Then they go to Mr. Warner. Sachs, Ghost, and Proctor, they all meet up basically to interrogate and question Ghost and, basically question him on his whereabouts and what led up. Why were they meeting at the old high school? This, that, and the third. What was their meeting about? Who all knew they was going to be there? This, that, and the third. Ghost tells them that he flat out didn't kill her. They just needed to meet to discuss her testimony. They simply don't believe him. They press him for who the real killer is. Um, Next, we see Tommy meeting up with Tariq. They're on some rooftop. Come to find out, Tariq had Kanan's ashes. And he wanted, he had got close to Kanan. And, he wanted to sprinkle the ashes, I guess, over New York City in remembrance. Tommy's crazy but dipped his blunt in the ashes, talking about like Tupac. Lord, I was just glad Tariq didn't smoke that mess with him, but Tommy's a fool. Okay, he then asks Tommy why him and Ghost was fighting, and he always refers to his dad as Ghost. He don't call him dad or pops or nothing like that. He has lost all respect. Tommy tells Tariq that basically Ghost tricked him into killing his own father, and he asks Tariq how he would feel if something really bad was to happen to him. Like, honestly, I think if Tariq would have been like, I wouldn't feel nothing at all, that would have been the okay, even though I believe Tommy already got his mind made up that he's going to off Ghost. And likewise, Ghost is thinking he's going to off Tommy, and I think they plan to just off each other. Okay? But he tells him, to be honest, at this point, it really wouldn't matter to him. They then leave together, and Ghost is actually lurking outside in Tommy's neighborhood, and he actually spots Tommy pull up with Tariq, and of course he's planning to kill him, but he turns away when he sees Tariq get out the car. Okay? Next, we see Tasha and Tariq taking the drive back to Cho. He's taking him back to school, and she asks what was going on that was so important between him and Tommy. Did she got to be concerned about anything illegal going on? He's like, no, I just had to handle something personal. Tariq states that, she then tells him she's planning on divorcing Ghost. Tariq's response to her was that he wishes he could divorce him too. He then places all the blame on Angela for all they're dealing with. Tasha shares with him that he may as well know Angela is dead. She explained that Angela is dead because she was trying to help them. And Tariq is, he's still young. He's like, aren't you happy? And she's like, of course I'm not happy. She was trying to help us. You would have been locked up. A lot of things wouldn't have been as good as they was if it wasn't for her trying to intervene and help us because she loved your daddy, basically. Tariq asks, did Tommy kill her? And she tells him, don't pick sides between your Uncle Tommy and your dad. She's already seeing where this is going, and he's already figuring it out. She tells him you could get hurt doing that. Next, we see Proctor with his daughter at some sort of function. It looked like a play or ballet or something. And Mr. Warner walks up, the new boss at the ADA, out of nowhere and asks if he knew who killed Valdez. He promises to let him walk for his testimony. Meanwhile, Tasha and her mother are out having dinner, and Mama seems to think that Tasha and Ghost can just go back to some sort of happily ever after. Now that Angie's dead, Tasha's not here for it. She tells Mama she thinks Terry is dead and that Ghost did it. Mama's like, but what you expect? And I hope you ain't planning on going to the cops. She's like, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no place, this, that, and the third, and basically you better stay your behind with Ghost through thick and thin regardless. Was how Mama was acting. Okay? She was like, do you really think Ghost is going to just let you walk away? Mama then asks, like I said, is she planning to go to the cops? Tasha tells her no. She's planning on getting even with Ghost herself. So we're going to see how that works. Next, we see Ghost show up at Angie's sister's crib. He's trying to reason with her that it was not him, and she's not trying to hear any of it. She then meets up with Sachs and agrees to finally allow the autopsy. He signs the papers authorizing it. Meanwhile, Tasha's still trying to reach out to Terry Silver, sitting somewhere in her car pulled over crying. I think it was after she had just dropped Tariq off. And she then calls Keisha's impressionable behind who is literally standing on a bridge contemplating destroying the evidence by getting rid of the murder weapon Tommy gave her the other day. She does, however, toss it, and then she also ignores Tasha's calls, which was interesting. Because Tasha could always manage to pull her strings. Next, we see Ghost sitting inside his parked vehicle, and in comes a call from Tariq. He tells him that he's back in school and that his mom let him know about Angela being dead. Tariq asks if he knows who did it. He also tells him that he's sorry. He's like, I don't really like Angela, but I mean, it's just like you didn't really like Kanan. I understand. So Tommy meets up with the Italians and Jason. And of course, Ghost is always lurking somewhere in the shadows. They getting ready to have their transaction because remember it had been delayed to later that evening. And Jason sends one of his men around to the back to go get Tommy's bad Mustang. And lo and behold, Ghost came out with the semi-automatic rifle and lit that blue Mustang up something terrible. And he bounced. The problem is, it wasn't Tommy driving the car. But Ghost don't know that. Jason knows it's Ghost. Tommy knows it's Ghost. And Ghost think he done got Tommy because he knows Tommy would never let nobody drive that car. But it wasn't Tommy. Now back at Keisha's, Tommy comes through and he tells her it's war now. You need to let me just send you and Cash away somewhere because it's getting ready to go down. Ghost is sitting in his car crying, and then he goes to Angie's apartment and reminisces over some of their old photos from when they were kids, and he then apologizes to her before leaving the place. This is where we see the episode come to a close. So I don't know what's going to happen, y'all. It's getting deep. It started off really good. Tommy and Ghost are officially bucking at each other head to head, and it's on. It is on. The season is starting off strong, and I am so here for it. I am Pandy, y'all, of Pandy's Hair Candy and more. Did y'all watch the show? What did y'all think? Drop that in the comments and let me know. Did I leave something out? I doubt it, but if I did, drop that in the comments and let me know. And again, please take a moment to like the video and please take a moment to subscribe. And if you like what you hear, please tap that notification bell so you can be notified each time I update new content to the channel so that you can receive your notifications. And until next time, y'all, I will holla. Bye.